In the broad universe of spiritual philosophies, few concepts have captured global imagination and sparked deep contemplation quite like karma. A Sanskrit word that literally means action or deed, karma has been interpreted in many different ways across religions and cultures. However, Buddhism presents a uniquely profound and practical interpretation of karma, one that is not just metaphysical, but deeply ethical, psychological, and rooted in everyday experience. In Buddhism, karma forms one of the foundational elements of its teachings. It is neither blind fate nor divine punishment. Rather, it is the natural law of cause and effect, where every intentional action of body, speech, or mind leaves a trace, like footprints on wet sand, and eventually brings about consequences. Unlike popular usage, karma in Buddhism is not simply a cosmic balancing scale but an ethical mechanism intertwined with the principle of rebirth, samsara, and the ultimate goal of liberation, nirvana. This essay aims to unpack the Buddhist conception of karma in its fullest dimensions, from its roots in ancient Indian thought to its practical applications in modern Buddhist life. We will explore how karma relates to rebirth, how intention plays a critical role, and how one can transform karmic patterns for spiritual liberation. Through this exploration, we can gain insights not only into Buddhist philosophy but into the deeper questions of how our choices shape our lives. Historical origins and context. Karma and pre-Buddhist India. The notion of karma did not originate with the Buddha. Before Buddhism emerged around the 5th century BCE, the concept of karma was already present in the Vedic traditions of India, particularly in the Upanishads. In these early texts, karma was closely linked to ritual actions and their effects on one's destiny after death. The moral quality of one's actions, good or bad, would influence their Atman, soul, and determine their rebirth in a higher or lower realm. However, in the pre-Buddhist context, karma was often associated with external ritualistic actions rather than internal moral intent. This is where the Buddha introduced a radical shift. The Buddha's innovation. Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, redefined karma in ethical and psychological terms. He emphasized that what truly matters is not just the physical act but the intention, cetana, behind the action. In a famous passage from the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha stated, "It is volition, monks, that I call karma, for having willed, one acts by body, speech, and mind." This interpretation marked a revolutionary departure from ritualistic notions of karma. It placed ethical responsibility squarely on individual intentionally rather than on mere ritual compliance. Karma became the moral currency of one's choices, deeply linked with the purification of the mind and the liberation from suffering. The mechanics of karma. Volitional action and intention. At the heart of Buddhist karma is the concept of volitional action. Only actions done with intention generate karmic effects. Unintentional actions, like stepping on an insect unknowingly, do not create karma in the Buddhist sense, because the mind was not engaged in the act with conscious intention. Intention, cetana, serves as the engine that drives karmic outcomes. For example, giving to charity with a kind heart generates positive karma. But giving out of obligation or to gain fame may result in less favorable karmic consequences. The same act can yield different karmic results based on the mental state accompanying it. 3 doors of karma: body, speech, and mind. Buddhism categorizes karma into 3 channels. Bodily karma, actions performed physically, for example, helping someone or harming them. Verbal karma, actions done through speech, for example, telling the truth or lying. Mental karma, internal actions like thoughts, intentions, and desires. These are called the 3 doors of action, and all 3 can produce karmic effects. Interestingly, mental actions are given equal, if not greater, weight in Buddhism because they are the seedbed for all external actions. Types of karma. Karma is further categorized into various types based on time of fruition, strength, and effect. Immediate result karma yields results in this very lifetime. Deferred result karma brings results in a future lifetime. Obstructed karma may not bear fruit due to stronger opposing karma. Destroyed karma may be nullified or purified through spiritual practice. This classification illustrates that karma is not a rigid or deterministic system. It's flexible, interactive, and influenced by ongoing mental and ethical cultivation. Karma and rebirth. The wheel of samsara. In Buddhist cosmology, beings are trapped in a cycle of death and rebirth known as samsara. Karma serves as the engine of this cycle. One's accumulated karmic actions determine the realm into which one is reborn, whether as a human, an animal, a god, or even a being in a hell realm. However, karma doesn't just determine rebirth, it also shapes the conditions of one's next existence, health, lifespan, intelligence, and life circumstances. This does not imply fatalism, rather, it underscores that present conditions arise from past actions, and future conditions are shaped by present actions. No self and karma. A challenging aspect of karma in Buddhism is reconciling it with the doctrine of anatta, or no self. If there is no permanent self, who receives the results of karma? The answer lies in understanding that what continues across lifetimes is not a soul but a causal stream of consciousness, like one flame lighting another. Karma adheres not to a self but to a continuum of mind moments and ethical habits. This allows for continuity without clinging to a static identity. Karmic consequences in this life. Suffering and happiness. Karma explains not only rebirth but the everyday experiences of joy and suffering. While not everything that happens is karmically caused, some things arise due to natural or biological factors. Many of our life experiences, relationships, career success, mental well-being, are significantly influenced by our past and present actions. For example, kindness and honesty tend to foster goodwill and support, while deception and cruelty can lead to conflict and isolation. These patterns are not mystical, they are observable causal relationships. The ripple effect. Karma operates not just as an individual phenomenon but as a collective one. Societal karma arises from the shared actions and intentions of a community or nation. This concept helps explain why entire societies may experience peace or turmoil based on collective ethical trends. Moreover, karma is dynamic and constantly evolving. Each moment is an opportunity to create new karma or alter old patterns. This gives individuals immense agency and hope for transformation. Karma and liberation. The goal of nirvana. The ultimate goal in Buddhism is not to accumulate good karma, but to transcend the karmic cycle altogether. Even good karma can keep one bound to samsara because it leads to further rebirth, albeit in favorable conditions. Nirvana, the state of complete liberation, is the cessation of all karmic formations. It is the unconditioned peace that arises when craving, aversion, and delusion, the root causes of karma, are uprooted. Karma and mindfulness. Spiritual practice in Buddhism, particularly mindfulness and meditation, plays a critical role in transforming karma. By observing the mind, recognizing harmful patterns, and cultivating wholesome intentions, practitioners weaken negative karmic tendencies and foster clarity. Mindfulness enables conscious action. With it, individuals can break the chains of reactive habits and make skillful choices that lead to freedom rather than bondage. The Bodhisattva ideal. In Mahayana Buddhism, the Bodhisattva takes a different route, choosing to accumulate merit not for personal liberation but for the benefit of all beings. Here, karma is transformed into paramitas, perfections, such as generosity, patience, and compassion. This path represents a karmic transformation in the service of universal enlightenment. Misconceptions about karma. Not fatalism. A common misunderstanding is that karma is fatalistic, that one is doomed to suffer or succeed based on past actions. In truth, Buddhism teaches that karma is malleable. Even heavy karma can be mitigated by present choices. The Buddha emphasized the possibility of transformation through ethical effort, mindfulness, and wisdom. Not instant justice. Another misconception is that karma works like instant justice, bad people should suffer now, and good people should immediately be rewarded. but karma often unfolds over lifetimes or under complex conditions. Immediate consequences are rare. Thus, Buddhism encourages patience and faith in the long-term effects of ethical living, not divine punishment. Karma is not a cosmic punishment system administered by gods. It is impersonal, like gravity. It functions automatically through cause and effect. This makes the individual fully responsible for their destiny, without relying on divine intervention or forgiveness. Karma in daily Buddhist practice. Ethical living. Buddhism's ethical code, the 5 precepts, is based on karmic principles. By refraining from killing, stealing, lying, sexual misconduct, and intoxication, individuals protect themselves from negative karma and create conditions for inner peace. These precepts are not commandments but guidelines to reduce suffering and foster mental clarity. Practicing them daily generates beneficial karma and lays the foundation for deeper spiritual work. Meditation and mind training. Meditation is a powerful tool to observe and transform karma. By watching thoughts, recognizing desires and fears, and generating compassion and wisdom, practitioners dismantle the karmic seeds that perpetuate suffering. Techniques like metabhavana, loving-kindness meditation, generate positive karma through mental intentions of goodwill. Over time, these intentions reshape one's entire karmic landscape. Acts of merit. In many Buddhist cultures, people actively engage in merit-making activities, giving alms, helping the poor, chanting sutras, supporting monks, or building temples. These acts generate punya, merit, a positive karmic force that supports spiritual growth and favorable rebirth. However, true merit arises not just from the act but from the purity of the motivation behind it. To truly understand karma is to realize the deep interconnectedness of all life. We are not isolated beings tossed by fate, but active participants in a vast moral ecosystem. Every choice matters, not because someone is watching, but because everything we do leaves a mark on our own heart, and on the world around us. Karma isn't about fear or control. It's about freedom. The freedom to change, to grow, to heal. In the Buddhist view, karma is not a prison, it's a path. A path walked mindfully, compassionately, with eyes open and heart awake. And in that walk, step by step, we come home to who we truly are.